I just
Yes,
have,
and that way next information like your driver's license and all that.
okay. Could I do that next time? So I'm just wanting to know a little bit of information here in Halifax. First, do I have access to that 5G technology right now, or is it just in certain cities?
That's a good question. Let me check that information here real quick for you. Give me a second, please.
Like
I just want to find out.
it says stay connected with 20 gigabytes of high-speed data. So I'm just wondering if that high speed includes the 5G technology.
No, some of the areas it will be on a 5G already. Some of the don't. It's going to be like for stage during the 5G network. So that's I'm going to check your location, and because of the device that you have as well, because you have Apple phones.
Yes.
So some of these 5G, I think, is going to start with the smartphones, like the other brand. But let me check here first. How is that going to work? Give me a moment, please.
Thank you. So I'm just on hold speaking to Telus about the 5G network and if indeed it has arrived here in Nova Scotia. Then I'd just like to find out a little bit more about it, where the towers are, and so we're just on hold here. Just gonna flip through his 3 screens while we're waiting. You can have a look at this.
I'm just checking the websites right now about the coverage for your area.
Okay, thank you.
But your area is not available yet.
Okay, so
right now is you still are on 4G.
okay, and I'm looking at a website right now that gives me different options. It says 2G, 3G, 4G, 4G plus, and 5G, and it looks like we have 4G plus in Nova Scotia, in Halifax area. What's the difference between 4G plus and 5G?
Well, the 5G is the newest, the fast speed for download
Okay.
and upload. So the 4G plus is like close to the 5G, So you're not bad. It's like 3G or 2G. That would be the lowest.
Right, and
your speed is good where you are.
4G plus. So do you know what the gigahertz is for 4G plus? Like I know 5G can go from 30 to 300 gigahertz. Do you know what the frequency is for the 4G plus?
4G plus, I can check that. Give me a second, please.
I'm recording this information too, so I can go back and use it as a reference. Because I'm really curious, let's say, about the 5G technology.
Yes. Second, I'm checking here the 4G speed. Give me a moment.
Okay, so yeah, maybe you can give me the 4G speeds, the 4G plus speeds, and also the 5G. And when is the anticipated arrival of this 5G technology in Nova Scotia? And is it in other parts of the country already?
It's in some areas already, like in Alberta.
It's in Alberta. Is it in?
Province. I think we're going to start like not all together at the same time, but it's going by stages.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure pretty soon it's going to be coverage all over Canada,
Right.
depending on the regulations as well. That's something that's still with the government and all that. So I'm not sure how that is going to continue to work on every province.
Right. So right now it's in Alberta. Is it in Ontario?
I'm going to find out. So going back to your question,
Yes.
the 4G HSPA plus, it gives the 21 megabits for download speed.
Megabytes. But do you know what that is in hertz? Like what the speed would be in hertz? The frequency of the wave?
That's something that we have to check with technical support. If you want to get more information about the coverage, the speed, and all that,
Okay.
because technical support is who has more information to that.
Okay, so maybe I'll need to be connected to technical support, but I have a few more questions, and I don't know if you can answer them or if I have to go to another department. But in order to access 5G, like when 5G rolls out, does it use the towers that are currently in place, or does it require the installation of new towers? Is that a question for technical support too?
That's going to be for technical support. Basically, most of your questions seem like they are related to technical or network coverage.
Okay, so yeah, maybe I'll go to technical support. But one other question, will they be able to answer my safety concerns about the 5G technology and the radiation?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they will be able to answer with that.
Okay, and how long am I looking at? Like, would it be a few minutes or an hour?
To be honest, right now, I'm not sure how busy they are yet because
Okay.
it has been busy for the last week.
Okay,
But since it's still kind of early in the morning, I don't think everybody's calling yet.
okay,
I'm not sure how long did you wait for me.
Okay, I'll wait for technical support then, and I'll just talk to myself here while I'm waiting. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. Nice talking to you.
You too.
Hope you have an excellent weekend, by the way.
And thank you, you too. And your name is?
Roland.
Rollins. And if I get disconnected somehow, is there a direct number to technical support?
If you get disconnected, I will call you back and connect you to them.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you,
Yes,
Rollins.
please stay online.
Okay,
you
thank
for your time.
Thank
Your
you.
pleasure.
Rollins, are you? Okay. So let me just turn this down a little bit here, volume, and see if I can go back here. So I'm on the phone right now to Telus, inquiring about the 5G network coverage. So this was a website, nperv.com, that I found this morning that gives the network coverage. It was updated, though, last in 2018. But if I go through the different carriers, it tells me kind of like who has the most coverage. So Telus, which is the company I use, has a lot of coverage. Bell Mobility, not so much. And if I look at Eastlink, again, a fair amount. But the other big coverage is Rogers. So you can go to that and look, but again, if you look at the bottom of the screen, it says the data was last collected and displayed in 2018, so it's not really updated. But they do have this new 5G map on here, and if you click on that, you can see a world map of where the 5G has been rolled out already. Let's see if I can bring this down and come in here. So let's see if I can move that over. So you can see it doesn't look like there's any in Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, Atlantic Canada yet. Let's see if we can pop this up, the 5G. And again, keep in mind that this might not be the most recent coverage. So it looks like they are having 5G centers right in Montreal and Ottawa and Toronto. The guy I just spoke with at Telus says that, let's see if I can move that over. And again, we're looking at the 5G coverage is what we're viewing here. But, and the website is, let's see if I can get that on here, nperv.com. There we go. Good. So you can look and see where 5G is rolled out across the world. But my concern with this, after reviewing the health studies, let me just see if I can bring that down and come back here. This is a great website, the BioInitiatives website, so bioinitiative.org. This was 2012, but what it does give you are the concerns with the current technologies. So the electromagnetic frequencies, you know, from cell phones, from Wi-Fi, the smart meters, and the bioeffects, you know, not just on our body and the biological processes, but on plants and animals. Because it damages the DNA. So you can go to this website and look. I mean, there's quite a bit of research already to show evidence for adverse health effects, you know, on fertility, on sperm. The DNA is damaged. Children are more vulnerable because the tissue is reproducing fast. So if there's damage to the cellular structure, it will reproduce more damaged cells. So again, these technologies really shouldn't be in our schools. The damage on fetal and neonatal effects of electromagnetic frequencies. So mothers who are pregnant, you know, using cell phones. I remember when I was in practice, I had mothers that would, you know, set their breastfeeding schedule on their cell phone, but it's radiation that they're putting right next to their belly where all these cells are growing so fast. So, you know, we don't need these cell phones. And what we see is, even with the frequencies that we're using right now, the 2.4 frequency, is that the side of your brain, the side of your head where you hold a cell phone has more tumors. So, and people that live close to the cell towers, for example, there's more incidence of cancer. So this is already present. This is not new. We already know this data. But now the 5G is more concerning because the frequencies are a lot higher. So again, we're looking at frequencies from 30 to 300 gigahertz. So again, they use this technology. It's a military millimeter systems wave that they use for crowd control. They use it as a weapon. So this is what they're looking at instituting across Canada. So it's really something that we need to protest against and inquire about the safety studies. So what I've learned is that there's...
Hello, Dina?
Yes.
Thank you for waiting. So I got my support Rick on the line. He will continue the call with you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, it's Dina.
You're welcome.
Hi, it's Dina. Who am I speaking with?
Hello, my name is Rick from Telus. How are you today?
Hi, Rick. Good, thanks. I'm just recording this call so I can keep all the data and use it as a reference for the information because I have so many questions about this 5G technology. So thanks for taking my call. I just went on the website and I see that, you know, it says 5G has arrived on Canada's most awarded network. And I'm just wondering if it's now available in Halifax. And if it is available, how do I get access to it? Like, are there towers in certain parts of the city that have access? I wonder if you could explain it to me.
Oh, I understand. From what we have been told, it's only available in Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver.
Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. Okay.
Exactly. It's only available in these areas at the moment. And so far we haven't been given any updates as to when it will increase the coverage.
Okay. Now,
we will...
okay, so when it updates or when the 5G is available, do you have to put up different towers or do you use the current cell towers that are up? Like when it rolled out in Toronto and Edmonton and Calgary and Alberta and Montreal, you know, does it require a structural change or does it use the current cellular, you know, network?
From we have been told, it does require some structural change, but we haven't been told much about it, to be honest.
Okay. So it's not available in Halifax, Nova Scotia right now. Do you know when it will be available here?
No, we haven't been told anything at the moment.
Okay.
But we'll keep you posted through the website.
Okay, well, because I've seen it on the website, I just assumed that it was, all over Canada. But I guess, like you said, they're just starting with the commercial centers first,
Exactly.
the biggest commercial centers. So I don't know if you're the person to ask these questions to, Rick, but I have some concerns about the radiation of the 5G technology. And I have concerns over Wi-Fi in general because the research shows that it really does affect our cellular structure. But the 5G technology has so much greater frequency. I was told it was from 30 to 300 gigahertz. I don't know if you have a number, the difference between, say, 4G plus, and 5G. Do you know what the gigahertz would be for the 5G?
Let me see if it's available. For the 5G, it only says to be confirmed on the information that we have. We still don't have those many details yet.
Okay. So, but it's been rolled out already in a few commercial centers. So they're keeping a secret of what the frequency is?
Not exactly a secret. It's just that it's not something we normally handle, but let me see if I can find it.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that. Because what I've found, Rick, is that the 95 gigahertz, which is what most cellular companies are using, kind of right in between, has been used by the military as a weapon, as a crowd control wave. So it does damage to the cellular structure. So I'm really concerned about this rollout in Canada and hoping that you have some safety studies to share with me.
I understand. I don't really have any the information that you're looking for, to be honest. From what I can find, the gigahertz of the frequency of the 5G network,
Yes.
as you were mentioning, they can go between 24 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz.
Yes, that's what I heard. Yeah, so that's pretty intense, right? That can split the double helix of our DNA. So who do I connect with? Who in the company can I speak with about my concerns? Because it's a health risk, and I think it's really criminal, to be honest with you, to roll out a technology that hasn't had the safety studies approved, where there's definite concerns about that frequency on biological systems. So who could I direct my concerns to in that company, into Telus?
Within Telus, it will be hard, but based on the concerns that you have, it might be best to contact the government.
Yeah.
So they can help you out. But at the moment, we haven't been told that it will be a hazard to our customers.
Okay.
And it's already going out in a lot of countries in the world.
Well, in fact, the European Union has appealed that. So, scientists in the UK have been warning of the potential serious health effects, and many European countries have halted. In the Netherlands, for example, when they put up the 5G cell towers, 259 birds fell out of the sky. So they've seen, the damage, and they're trying to, sort of retrace their steps. I'm hoping in Canada we could sort of learn from their example and don't have to go through the same, death and disease that we've seen when this technology is being installed. But so with Telus, I've already sent my concerns to all the members of Parliament in Nova Scotia, and all the MLAs, members of Legislative Assembly. But what I've learned is that there's an act called the Telecom Act that was passed in 1996 that actually protects the cellular companies from liability of death, disease, or damage in any way. So, but I would like to challenge that. I like to challenge the company. So who owns Telus? Like, who's like the top dog, the guy that if I was suing the company for damages to me and my family, who would I send my concerns to?
Oh, I'm sorry. For that matter, it's best to contact a lawyer.
Yeah, I have a lawyer, but who's the lawyer? Who's the legal counsel in Telus?
I don't know, ma'am. To be honest, what I have heard is that when this type of thing happens, it's best to talk to your lawyer.
Okay, well, thank you for that. I do have a personal injuries lawyer working on the case for me, but I'm looking.
So talk to him. Tell him that you're planning to sue Telus because we're using the 5G network, and he has to have a way to contact us. But it's not something that we give to our normal customers.
Okay, so
from what I was seeing, there is a safety code 6. Maybe if you can read about that, it tells about the health and hazard risk.
yeah, I know. I have a bunch of information. I've been researching it for a while, and the World Health Organization says two different things. On one hand, on their website, they say it's safe, and in many publications, they say it's a cancerous risk. When you bombard your biological systems with 95 gigahertz of energy, 90 billion pulses per second, there's definitely going to be health effects. So, well, I just wanted to really kind of make a record of this conversation, to announce my concerns to Telus, and to really say that if this is instituted in my city, near my home, in Halifax, I will be pursuing litigation because it's damaged. I think it's criminal to roll this 5G technology out without having these safety effects. Already knowing that the 95 gigahertz is used in the military as a weapons wave, so the military has lots of data. I would suggest to you to go to your superiors in Telus and suggest that they review the military research, the scientific research that shows the damage this technology can cause. And that's going to be on Telus's hands. I know they have a great board of directors. They all look pretty friendly in the website, but it's I think it's dreadful. It's criminal. So if you could pass on those concerns. And I just want to know, how can I avoid the 5G? So if it does come to Halifax, how can I avoid it? Am I going to be, let's say, exposed to that 5G even if I'm requesting not to? Like if my neighbor wants 5G, is that really going to, affect me as well?
It will work the same way as any other radio frequency.
Right.
It will be through waves, right? That is really something that is over the air.
Right.
And it cannot really be stopped.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I appreciate, I know you're not the person making all the decisions. You're, answering the phone and trying to answer some of the technical questions. But if there's any way you could make these, suggestions to announce my concerns to the people that are higher up in the company, the owner, manager, however. I don't know if I could request a call from, somebody that's in a superior management position or one of the board of directors. Is that possible?
Oh, no, that's not possible. I'm really sorry.
Really? So if you were me and you were really concerned about your family and their health and cancer from this new technology kind of rollout, how would you go about, besides, government, as you suggested? That was a great suggestion, but I've already done that. So how else could I protect myself and my family from radiation poisoning?
From what I have heard, there is no radiation poisoning for using a 5G network.
It's actually, we've seen that the 5G technology, like in Wuhan, China, when it rolled out, 60 gigahertz, it actually affects the coupling of your hemoglobin to your oxygen. So it produces breathlessness. People dropping dead. It wasn't of corona, it was because they couldn't breathe. So again, like I said, in the European Union, we've already seen in parts of Europe the detrimental effects. I just don't want this to happen in Canada. And I'd like to go on record saying that I'm giving my concerns to Telus, and a warning that if this comes here and that there's damage to me and my family, not only will I litigate, I will tell everyone. I would go on the news. I would go on a live Facebook and announce it. And then other people would probably litigate. We'd probably have a class action suit. So it's concerning. So if you could note those concerns to whoever owns Telus, I'd be really grateful for that, Rick.
I understand. I can forward the feedback to my supervisor, but to be honest, I don't believe there's nothing much we can do in our end. It's something that is happening, and yes, the best bet, if you're really concerned, will be to contact the government.
Yes, I've done
They
that.
are the ones that normally.
Yeah, I've done the government. I've done the government thing, and I've also connected with my city because the smart meter also has the EMF radiation. So I've opted out of that. Speaking with my city council, but there needs to be an opt-out if they're instituting something that comes with serious health risks. There needs to be an opt-out. So those who want to have cancer, those who want to damage the brain with the 5G technology, so they can open their garage door and they can download a movie faster, that should be available to those who don't have the common sense to kind of do that and research it a little further. But I don't want that. I don't want to have to the increased speed. I don't want to have the exposure to this 5G radiation, and I just want to protect myself and my family. So if you could pass those sentiments along to Telus, I'd be most grateful for it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, have a great day, Rick.
Same to you.
Bye.
Take care.
So you see, I did a similar call with Rogers about a month ago, and Rogers kind of kept me on the phone a lot longer. You can scroll down my live Facebook feed, and they kind of kept me waiting for the manager that was somehow going to solve my problems. And 45 minutes later, we finally agreed that somebody from the company would call me in a management position, and they didn't. So I don't. Telus is just the company I deal with, but Rogers is the same. And anyway, so this is the concern, really, right, is the 5G technology. And we need to speak up about it because you can see the companies that are rolling out this 5G technology, they don't even know what the safety studies are. But let me show you. So again, if we go back to this website, which is the bioinitiative.org, you can see all the current effects, right? The children should be reasonably protected from the stressors of EMF radiation, wireless in classrooms, homes, and environment. This is like 2012 research, right? From where we are with the, with the 2 and 3G technology, second and third generation. But, and the technology that we have now is 2.4 gigahertz that we're using, right, from your router. You can look at it in your router. 5G doesn't mean 5 gigahertz. 5G is 5th generation. This is 95 gigahertz. 90 billion times a second, your cells are going to be inundated with this radiation. So it's definitely radiation poisoning. But you can look through this website and you can see all the data that's been collected, right? It affects the blood-brain barriers at risk. It shows elevation of brain cancers. I mentioned that earlier in the video. Genetic effects. It affects the gene because it can split the double helix of the DNA. Why is this important right now? Because of what I just said to Ricky on the phone there at Telus, was that it affects the coupling of hemoglobin, which is the carrier of, it's an iron carrier for oxygen in our lungs. So in Wuhan, China, when they rolled out the 60 gigahertz technology, it happened, it coincides with the whole corona thing. So it affects breathlessness. And they may try to pass it off as kind of like this second wave, right, of corona, when in actual fact it could be the 5G technology rollout. So again, just to confirm what Ricky said from Telus anyway, that Alberta, Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver already have this 5G, and that it's by the end of the year they're hoping to have it across Canada. What other effects do we know from EMF radiation? It affects melatonin, so it affects sleep, cancers, Alzheimer's disease. Again, it's affecting tissue that is dividing. So it would be nerve tissue, sensitive tissue, like your brain tissue. Stress and proteins and DNA is a fractal antenna. Well, again, you can see it affects the DNA. So there's a whole website. It affects human stem cells. So, it just goes on and on down this website. It's a great website. It even gives you charts of the different effects of what we already know, like I said, with our current technology. Now, the 5G networks. So this is what the World Health Organization. So if you don't know anything about the World Health Organization, let me just share one of their 1973 mandates was to kill using vaccines. So I don't really have a lot of trust in the World Health Organization. The largest funder is Bill Gates. But this is what they say about the 5G mobile networks. 5th generation, the latest wireless home phone technology, widely used, deployed. I mean, it's like a military. There's a good word, right? Because it's a military systems wave. In 2019, 5G is expected to increase performance and a wide range of new applications, including strengthening e-health. It's unbelievable that they say that, right? Because this is on one hand from their website. And then we have another quote. I think it was in here. They put that quote. So this is another website called Scientific America, where they quote the World Health Organization. Again, more than 500 studies. There's more than that now. There's 26,000 scientists that have came forward into, pleading with the United Nations to stop this rollout. So there's a lot of studies. They talk about 250 scientists. Again, there's about 24,000 scientists and numerous health effects here. But I think it was this website. Yes, here we go. The World Health Organization classified the radiation as possibly carcinogenic to humans. So on one hand, on one website, right, they're saying it's safe. Now they're saying it's possibly carcinogenic to humans because they did notice it increased cancer in male rats. That's because it damages biological tissue. So I know we're not rats, but we have cells that are dividing. We're biological systems. So again, like I said, when Ricky here at Telus advised me to go to the government, well, I have. And the government and the MPs, the members of parliament here in Nova Scotia, have not replied to my concerns. I sent them the information and data. So I'm wondering why that is the case. But last thing I'm just going to show you. And thank you guys for watching. Let's see who's here. Jane, Jody, thank you. Second wave. Yeah, we weren't thinking about that. Thanks, Jody. But this is what I'm thinking about. And trying to kind of track when the 5G rolls out. Because again, the Wuhan, China had the 60 gigahertz rollout around the same time as the whole kind of corona scam happened. So here's the European Union. So again, this is another website that you can look up, jrseco.com. And the European Union, let's see if I can move this over here, has more than 180 scientists. Again, if you go on my health blog, healthtruth.blog, and in the search engine, if you type in 5G, then, or type in this, because sometimes you'll find an article and it'll give you resources of where this came from, who funded it, the current research that's out there. Again, like I said, this is not new technology. They've been using it in the military for years as crowd control and as a weapon system wave. So you can look at that here. But there are many scientists that are concerned about this. And you can see the research here. Professor of oncology. Again, cancer is really your body's response to stress. And radiation poisoning is definitely a stressor, right? So there's a lot of oncologists that are on board and concerned about this. But again, as I mentioned, the paradigm or the locked up paradigm is that the government, in all their wisdom in 1996, passed a bill, the Telecom Act actually, that absolves these telecom companies of accountability of any liability for death or disease or destruction. Just like, again, the Vaccine Act they passed in '86 that protects the vaccine companies from liability. Then the Monsanto Act in 2013 that protects Monsanto, big company, from liability. They passed an act to protect the Telecom Act. We need to challenge that because they can't pass an act in government that's criminal, that's killing people. Whether that's vaccines or whether it's radiation poisoning from 5G technology. So we all need to get on this. Everyone needs to kind of call their what am I called, the carrier, like I just did, and express your concerns. Because if they can get away with this, if they can sneak it in, you can see the guy on the phone at Telus didn't even know what the frequency was for the 5G technology. It's not a secret, but they just don't know what it is. So if we don't express concern, again, silence gives consent. So I'd encourage you to do that. So again, the EUG 5 Appeal is a good website. The Scientific America, you just type in 5G, problems with 5G or health concerns, and you'll see it. The World Health Organization, really not a website I'd recommend, but this one, the bioinitiative.org. And again, if you go on my website or my blog called healthtruth.blog, in the search engine type in the 5G information, and then you can get an article that gives you links to other studies and research and groups that you can join to educate yourself, really, and your family. So thank you. I don't know if there's anything else there. Thank you, Jody, for putting up those links. They make you pay $15 a month to use a smart meter. Yes, the smart meter is another form of this electromagnetic radiation. And I had to really fight here locally in Halifax to not have it put on my house. In fact, I got 3 different warnings from a company called Neptune, which apparently was commissioned by Halifax Water, threatening to turn off my water if I didn't upgrade. So I had to go through all those channels of City Hall and government, but it's true. Our initial contract was with a cell company for a meter reader to come out. We don't want it. I didn't want it on Wi-Fi. I didn't want to lock myself in a Wi-Fi grid in my house. And they can't. I mean, our human rights doesn't allow for us to consent to being killed or damaged. I mean, it's unreal. So any acts that have been passed, I think, are really foolish, and we need to kind of challenge that. But they get away with it because of our ignorance, because we don't know any different, or because we're too fearful to speak up. So the only way to turn this around, the only way to empower ourselves is, 1, to understand, to know the information, to research it, and 2, is to speak up about what's fair and right and just. So I'd encourage you to do that. Call your cellular company, ask about the 5G technology, research it, for yourself. Don't upgrade, whatever it is. Keep your cell phone turned off because it's a radiation machine. Turn it on for live videos like this or pictures. If you have a router, shut off your router at night. You can get cages, Faraday cages to go over your router so it reduces the information, the Wi-Fi signal in your home. And then threaten the companies. If they put up a cell tower, see, the thing about this 5G technology, because it's such a small wave, because it's such it's a millimeter wave, is that you'll need to have, let's see if I can bring this down here. You need to have antenna set up every 500 feet. So what they have to do is either put an antenna on your light pole, or they have to put up a cell tower in front of your home. And if you've upgraded already to the smart meter, then the Wi-Fi signal, this 95 gigahertz military systems wave that can split the double helix of your DNA, will be running through your home day and night, 24/7. You'll be in a microwave. Seriously, you'll be putting your family in a microwave. So the ways to reduce that exposure first are to get rid of the smart things that have the radiation. And there's other devices. There's, rocks and stones like black tourmaline and shungite, and there's websites that have grounding protective devices. Alan Mader, if you're looking for some of that stuff, just email me or send me a message on Facebook, or put it under this link. If you have products that you really love, share them, put the information there for other people to see. And as a team we can turn this around, but we need to kind of share our information and resources against these bigger corporations that are pushing us around because of their money and influence. So anyway, thank you. Hi, Arlene. They have instituted the 5G technology already in Alberta, so you might want to call. This is what they said on the phone. Alberta, Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. The big commercial centers already have this. Argonite, yes, Jody, that's something else that actually helps dissipate the radiation from your body. Grounding in nature, going back, getting outside, helps ground your frequency. And Jody says we made our own. Excellent. So again, any resources, I love that. Any resources of anyone listening that you have to either detox from radiation poisoning, to protect yourself from radiation poisoning, letters or templates to send to your government officials. Again, I've sent emails to all of the 11 members of parliament in Nova Scotia. So if you want a letter, email me, send me a message. I'll be happy. You can just copy and paste my letter, change a few of the details, and you can use that to send to your MP. So anyway, I better sign out, but I want to thank you all for watching. Shungate, yes. Essential oils is great. Anything from nature, right, has the resonance of that Sherman frequency that helps ground us. But again, this is really important for you to understand the implications of the 5G technology and then take some inspired action to turn it around. So thank you for watching. I would invite you to reach for the stars, envision and achieve your personal best, and most of all, try to enjoy the journey. This is Dr. Dina Churchill signing out.